The truth is, I did not wake up like this. In fact, it takes me a lot of time and effort to look like this. Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about my high maintenance to be low maintenance beauty routines. Some of these are relatively new, while others I've been following for years, but the most important thing they have in common, return on investment. These are the daily, weekly, monthly beauty rituals that may sound like a lot of work initially, but they end up saving me so much time, money, stress, while overall improving my appearance. In other words, totally worth it. Make sure to stick around until the very end to hear about the routine that is truly life-changing. Starting with the daily rituals, my morning routine isn't quite as high maintenance as my evening bedtime routine. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I journal, I brush my teeth, and I rehydrate. After plenty of coffee, I'm getting ready for the day. I always start with skincare. This is my non-negotiable. I'm very particular about products. Occasionally, I will test something new, but for the most part, I've found what works best for me and my skin, and I've been sticking to it. This has been my go-to routine for months now. I'm still using my Dior Lamousse cleanser, and then the first product I apply to clean skin is my Laneige Cream Skin Serapeptide Toner Moisturizer. I love this as a prep step because the moisture really pulls all of the other active ingredients deeper into the skin. My skin loves this stuff. It drinks it right up. It has such a fine mister. It is so deeply hydrating and nourishing. My skin always feels so incredibly supple after I spray this. And then I go in with this Medicate Vitamin C Serum. This is the C Tetra Advanced 20% Vitamin C Gel Serum for brightening, for radiance. I absolutely love this vitamin C. And then I go in with a very thin layer of this Medicate Total Moisture Daily Facial Cream. It's AMPM. It has HEO and prebiotic peptides. I love any moisturizer with peptides. I'm probably half, maybe a little bit more than halfway done with this jar. I really love this moisturizer, so I will most likely replace it as soon as I finish. It just feels really good on the skin. And of course, we finish with SPF. I've been using the Dalba UV Essence Waterful with SPF 50. I love this SPF. It is so beautiful on the skin. Not only does it feel really nice, but it leaves a really pretty glow. It doesn't irritate my skin, it doesn't smell weird, and it also doesn't break me out, which is my number one biggest complaint about sunscreens. I think a lot of people were horrified that I only finished 3 sunscreen products in my 2025 empties video, but the truth is I have so many open sunscreens in my collection. I consistently go back to Dalba for the face because it is so pretty and non-irritating and doesn't have a chemical smell. For body care, I like to quickly dry brush before I get into the shower. This is amazing for circulation, blood flow, for exfoliation, of course, which I am huge on. In fact, one of my goals for 2026 is to be better about treating my body skin like my face skin. And that means when we get out of the shower, we're doing serum and moisturizer just like the face. I've been using my Necessaire, the body serum. I've used this for years. Not sticky or heavy whatsoever. It absorbs so quickly into the skin and it just leaves your body feeling very soft, very supple. And then I like to go on top with moisturizer, and I have been using this Pro Retinol moisturizer from Josie Maran. I actually started testing this every single day at the end of 2025. It's the Pink Algae Pro Retinol Body Butter. You know, I've been fighting sun damage on my chest for years, spending thousands of dollars on different laser treatments, constantly using physical exfoliators. I want to use products that will help me with the journey. You know, if I'm going to use a body butter daily anyways, I'd rather it be enhanced with an active ingredient that will help me with the texture, the fine lines, overall skin tone, dark spots. This is also when I like to use my first device of the day. Now, I am not new to microcurrent technology. I've tried different devices over the years, but I am somewhat new to this Zip Halo 2.0. This is part of my new upgraded 2026 reset. I've been using this for the last few weeks and I absolutely love the way my skin looks after every treatment. If you're familiar with the original Zip Halo, this device has been updated for maximum results. The waveforms are 63% more accurate than the original device. I like that it's not bulky or heavy. It fits right into the palm of your hand. You apply the conductive gel on clean skin and just go for it. I'm using the crystal gel today. It has a really nice slip to it. It just glides on the skin, so silky, not oily or greasy, doesn't irritate my skin at all. And it has other active ingredients like amino acids, so it's also helping the skin. I usually use the app. It has 17 different treatments and it walks you through each routine step by step. If you've never tried microcurrent, it feels sort of funny the first time, but it basically works on the cellular level. The device sends different wavelengths of electrical current depending on what your skincare concern is or what you want to target, like skin tone, fine lines, acne, puffiness. So for example, I'm starting to see more visible nasolabial folds. I started to seriously consider filler or laser treatments, but I don't like the risk. Instead, using microcurrent, I can help lift and tighten the area so the shadows are less visible, and it helps boost collagen. Instant glow, instant brow lift, everything feels tighter, firmer, very plump and hydrated. I also love how much brighter my skin looks after each treatment. In clinical trials, 97% of people saw immediate lifting and firming. Skincare tools are just like topical skincare. Consistency is key. You have to actually use them. They can't just sit and collect dust on your vanity or your bedside table. So the more you use it, the more you see results. 3 to 5 times a week is recommended. I've been using my device on average, I would say 5 times a week. I've partnered with Zip Halo today to bring you a discount code for anybody who's interested. You can enter ERINTV at checkout and you'll receive 10% off. I will make sure that the link, the code, everything you need to know will be down below in the description box. For evenings, my bedtime routine mantra is the crazier you look before you go to bed, the prettier you will look when you wake up in the morning. That's just the way it goes. I remove all of my makeup using the LMS Cleansing Balm, followed by the Pro Collagen Hydrating Cleansing Mousse. This works so well, the combination removes all of my makeup. My skincare routine stays almost the same but different. I start by spraying the Laneige Cream Skin, then I go in with the Medicate Liquid Peptides Advanced MP Serum. This has such a unique texture. I love the way this feels. It's almost a bit slimy and sticky, but in the best way possible. And then I follow that up using the Medicate Advanced Pro Collagen Peptide Cream. The texture is really thick and rich, so it's great for evenings, especially because I go in with a prescription retinoin, which tends to dry out my skin. It's very intense, so I like to finish with even more sprays of the Laneige Cream Skin, also known as the moisture sandwich. I recently picked up the Swede Pro Eyelash Serum after reading an overwhelming number of recommendations from all of you. I've only been testing this for about a week now. So far, no redness, no irritation. I'm going to check back in a month, and I'm hoping I will have some incredible results to share and beautiful long lashes. Now here's where bedtime gets extra high maintenance. We're doing red light therapy, journaling again, of course. I've started applying a thick layer of moisturizer and sleeping with cotton gloves because my hands have so much sun damage. And I like to position my pillows in a specific way. I kind of create a V so that I'm forced to sleep on my back. Kind of nestle into a little cocoon, that way I can't really turn to my side. I'm a side sleeper, so I'm trying to prevent sleep wrinkles, and I also have a really sensitive neck, so I'm trying to make sure I wake up without any neck pain. I tuck myself in nice and tight so I can't move too much throughout the night, and it usually works. As I'm filming my evening routine, the sun is going down. I'm not going to bed right now. It's maybe 5:30. It's a bit too early. I get a lot of questions about this step, so I want to walk you through it. This is my silk bonnet. I have a couple of them. I just machine wash them and kind of rotate during the week. This one in particular is from Lily Silk, but I've purchased several from Amazon. You can get them for maybe 20 bucks, but do you see how it's nice and long? It's not like the typical silk bonnets that you see that look more like a shower cap. It's long for long hair. So what you do, you want to make sure it's the silky side on the inside, is you stick your arm in there, grab your hair, twist it in just like so, and then I move this bit to my hairline. I always make sure that when I lay down, I take all of my hair and I lift it up. So I kind of sleep like this. I told you, the crazier you look, the prettier you will be in the morning. That way I don't accidentally sleep on it weird and get any sort of dents. So this just hangs in the back. It's not the most attractive look. My husband is used to it by now, but I promise it is well worth doing all of the things. I'm not happy if my skin doesn't look like a glazed donut and I don't have my little grandma cap on. Next, we're moving on to my weekly high maintenance habits. This has become one of my favorite parts of my entire beauty routine. This is the Tria laser hair removal device. Back in October, I was sitting right here. I unboxed this on camera with you, and I told you I was going to do my own science experiment, test it out consistently, and I would report back. And while I am not a naked mole rat, not yet, I do have some incredible results to share with you. Get ready for a jump scare in 3, 2, 1. This is my hairy armpit. We're getting close and personal. You can see in the before video, I actually let my hair grow for like 3 weeks before I ever shaved for my first treatment. It's giving length, it's giving volume. I wanted you to see the true natural amount of hair I'm working with. The after video is from yesterday. I let my hair grow for a little over a week before I shaved to do my treatment this morning. There is not nearly the same amount of hair, and the hair that is still growing is actually much thinner. It's not as coarse, it's not as thick, not as dark. I didn't let the hair grow quite as long, but you can see that the hair that is there is pretty long. There's just not the same amount. So I am a true believer in the Tria device, and it gets me more and more excited to use it, seeing the results. Because it's happened so gradually over the last few months, I didn't realize until I saw the before and after just how big of a difference there really was. I just look under my arm and I'm like, oh, okay, there's still hair, gotta keep going, gotta keep going. But now I feel even more motivated to see it through. It is going to take me way more than 6 treatments to become completely hair-free under my arms. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind using the device. The fact that I can do it at home anytime I want. I have started using it every week just to kind of improve results or, make the process a little bit faster. You have to target the hair during the specific point in the growth cycle. That's why you have to consistently do it over and over and over again. And that is also true if you do these services at a salon. I use level 5, which is the highest level for every single treatment. The first few times it was somewhat spicy and I would actually yelp every time I zapped the hair. But now, and I guess maybe it's because the hair that's there is so much thinner and lighter, it doesn't hurt as much. It still sort of zaps every once in a while. Maybe I've just grown used to it. It doesn't bother me at all. And it truly takes maybe 2 minutes to do both underarms. So it is not a time commitment whatsoever. I'm not done with the Tria. I'm going to continue testing this. I want to see how long it takes to be completely hair-free under my arms. I know the day is coming, and then when I'm done with my underarms, that's when I will probably move on to another area, but I'm a huge fan of the Tria. I've had great results so far. And then most of these are just part of my Sunday reset when I'm getting ready to start the week. Of course, many of you already know that I like to paint my nails at home by myself, which might not seem high maintenance, but we are doing a full-blown luxury manicure at home. This has been my go-to nail polish for the longest time. It's Dior shade Rubin. I finished one last year. I just finished this bottle. I'm on my 3rd bottle of this shade of polish. It is the perfect pale everyday pink. I recently discovered Dazzle Dry. Have you heard of this brand? There's a system involved, so you have to follow the steps exactly, but this polish does not chip at all for a full week, and it dries completely in 5 minutes. I obviously had to order to try it for myself. This is a game changer. For hair, I do my weekly blowout, usually on Monday morning, so it's fresh and it will last me the entire week. It takes a little bit longer to style, but it is well worth it. And I recently added in a glossing mask. I don't know if any of you have heard of the Abby Young method. It's very popular on TikTok. She was the one who first introduced me to this product, and then L'Oreal sent it over complimentary, so I tried it out. I've been blown away by this product. I knew it would be good and I would probably see a little extra shine. L'Oreal carries some of my all-time favorite hair care products, L'Oreal Professional line. They own Kerastase, so they know what they're doing when it comes to the hair category. The first time I used this, there was such a huge difference with my hair. This is really that high maintenance added bonus product. You don't necessarily need to use a glossing mask like this in the shower. It's not going to extend your style. It's not necessarily even going to moisturize your hair. But if you're looking for extra shine and glossiness, it truly does work. I don't know how it seals the cuticle, it makes everything lay smooth, but you get so much more noticeable shine when you use this. My sunless tanning routine is definitely on the high maintenance side because I use 3 different tanners and 3 different applicators each and every time. But I really feel like I have nailed the flawlessly natural sunless tan every single time. For the face, I go in with the Dior Solar Self Tanning Gel, and I like to apply this with a brush. For hands, ankles, knees, elbows, all of the trouble areas, that's when I go in with the Isle of Paradise Light Tanning Mist. I also use a brush or one of those body brushes. For the rest of the body, I use the Isle of Paradise Dark Self Tanning Oil Mist for legs, arms. To apply it properly to the back, I have a special mitt from Amazon, and you just sort of seesaw it back and forth, and that allows you to evenly distribute product to the back. I have to give a special shout out to my niece. It's because of her that I created this system. When we were on a Disney trip 2 years ago, she asked me why my skin looked so dark and why I was using such a dark sunless tanner. It was that exact moment, being questioned by a 10-year-old and not having any good answers, that I realized I needed to make a change. Monthly, I do massage therapy. Every 6 to 8 weeks, I go to the salon where I get my grays professionally covered up. We talked a lot about skincare today, so it is only the responsible thing to mention that every 3 to 4 months, I get Daxify or Botox. I used to get Dysport, and then I switched to Daxify, which I find to last so much longer. In fact, I can sometimes go closer to 5-6 months on Daxify. And then either once a year, every other year, I typically do some sort of treatment series, whether it's a laser, Sculptra, microneedling, some sort of in-office treatment, whatever is recommended to me. And finally, the high maintenance beauty habit that truly transformed my life. I've been dying to talk about this with you. It all started with an annual goal. At the very start of 2025, I challenged myself to walk 10,000 steps a day, which quickly became, okay, I want to average 10,000 steps a day by the end of the year. I've always been a very active person. I do Pilates classes. I was trying to walk regularly, but just not very consistent. In 2024, I think I only averaged about 5,300 steps a day. The year before, it was like 2,600. So my goal was to double to get to 10,000 steps. And I did it. I don't care what anybody tells you, it is not easy to hit 10,000 steps consistently every single day. You're not going to get there by accident. It really forces you to manage your time wisely, be more efficient, make sure you're being productive, using your time wisely. You have to carve out time for yourself to get those steps in, or you're not going to hit it. What really helped me focus and be successful was that I didn't look at it as an option. It wasn't like, oh, I hope I get my 10,000 steps a day. It was just like brushing my teeth, washing my face. I was getting my steps in. Most of the time, I would walk in the mornings, sometimes in the evening, sometimes outside, sometimes inside. I kept it flexible depending on my schedule, what I had going on that day, going on that week, but I was incredibly rigid that I would, no matter what, get those 10,000 steps in. And because I set this lofty goal for myself, January 1st, I took a picture in front of the mirror, and January 1st, 2026, I also threw on that same workout set and I took the exact same photo. And while I know this is not a huge before and after, a drastic body recomposition, there is a noticeable difference between these two photos. I feel leaner, I feel stronger. I did not diet, I did not change my lifestyle. The only difference in these two photos is that I increased my walking, basically doubled my walking for the year. In fact, in the 2026 photo, I was feeling like crap at the end of the year. I had been, going out to dinner, lots of holiday parties and events. I was sick, and it took all of my energy just to throw on that little set. I wasn't convinced I was even going to see a before and after because I felt just so bloated and disgusting. I was pleasantly surprised to see that there was a pretty noticeable difference. Subtle, but noticeable considering that's the only thing I changed was increased my walking. Besides any physical differences, there were so many positive changes to my life from increasing my steps to 10,000. I felt more mental clarity. It forced me to be better with time management. I felt more productive during the week. Even hormonally, I felt more balanced because it gets everything moving. My stomach didn't hurt as much. I was less bloated during that time of the month. I felt so much better. It gives you such a boost of confidence when you set a goal for yourself. and you actually follow through and hit your goal, I feel like superwoman. Like if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Had I known how empowered I would feel, how much better I would feel physically, emotionally, mentally, everything, I would have started walking years ago. The real power is in the daily habit, not doing it a couple times a week, but doing it consistently every single day. That is the sweet spot. That is where you are truly going to see results, and your life is going to change in so many different ways that you couldn't have even expected or anticipated. I just feel like walking has completely changed everything. For 2026, I will not be doubling my average. I think 20,000 steps is probably too much, but I have set a goal of 13,000 steps a day, and I'm trying to do as much at an incline as possible. We have a treadmill at home, so if I'm not walking outside and I'm getting my steps indoors, I like to turn it up at least to level 5, sometimes a little bit higher, and I can feel difference. It sort of activates different muscles in your legs. And so far, I've found it a lot easier to get my steps in for the day because now I mentally know what it takes to hit that goal. So I have to carve out the time at some point during the day, and I find getting 10,000 steps to be pretty easy now. I'm still doing Pilates a couple times a week. I'm trying to incorporate more weight training, but hands down, the walking is the best beauty advice I could possibly give you. And now if you've made it to the end of the video, you're either thinking, all of that stuff doesn't seem that high maintenance, or you think I am absolutely crazy, but either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave me your comments, questions down below. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned, everything on my face will be tagged directly to the video and listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.